everything we've done up in decimals up to this point. I'm going to stop the video as we go so that you guys have a chance to do them out on your whiteboards. And then I will start the video back up as we go over the answers. Click. There we go. So the first thing that we went over this year was place value. Who can read us this number? Chris.
3 and 3300.
Excellent. So we have 3/10 is blank, the value of 3/100. And you're going to fill that in with either 1/10 or 10 times. And then 3/10 is blank, the value of 3 ones. And again, fill it in with 1/10 or 10 times. All right, so let's talk about it. If we want to know 3/10 is blank, the value of 3/100. I'm looking right here at 3/10 and 3/100. Is tenths bigger or smaller than hundredths? Bigger. So does it make sense that it's 10 times the value or only 1/10 of the value? 10 times, right? It is way bigger. So you should have put 10 times here. But if we were then looking at tenths and ones, what's bigger, ones or tenths? Ones, right? So 3/10 is only 1/10 the value of 3 ones. So you have to think about which is bigger and which is smaller. Okay? Questions on that? Abby?
So whenever you're getting like smaller, it's 10 times. Whenever you're getting bigger, it's like 10.
It depends on the order. Like, tenths is bigger than hundredths. So that's why it's 10 times.
Okay.
Tenths are smaller than ones. That's why it's 1/10.
Okay, I get it.
Let's look at this example of place value. Who can read this decimal to us first of all? Maya?
34 and 57 10. Yeah, hundreds.
Hundredths. The digit 5 is in the blank place. Okay, so on your whiteboards, write down what place it is in. So its value is 5 times what? Or what does it equal? 2. All right, let's go over this. The digit 5 is in the what place? What place is the 5 in, Maya?
1/10.
Yeah, it's in the 10th place, right? So the digit 5 is in the 10th
Oh, I put
place. So its value is 5 times what? Chris?
1/10.
Yeah, 5 times 1/10. And that gives its value what? Chris?
5/10.
5/10. So you can either write it as 5 over 10, or you could write it as 0.5.
I wrote it as 0.5.
Awesome. Let's look at some more. Powers of 10. Remember, when you multiply by a power of 10, you move the decimal point right or left?
Right.
KB?
Right.
Right. If you divide, you move it which way?
Left.
Left. And what number up there tells you how many places to move your decimal point?
Exponent.
Abby?
The 10.
Yeah, the little 3. What's the name of that little 3?
The exponent.
The exponent. So go ahead and try these 4. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll ask for people to come up and write the answers. All right, go ahead, Maya. Shush, please. Uh-huh. Perfect. Chris?
Yeah. I did that one.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
Make sure your hand isn't touching just the marker.
I had a dot in the wrong place. Yeah. get my blood.
Wait, just come back up here. You have 2 blank spaces, so what do you want to fill them with?
Zeros.
Good. Okay. My next 2, Samantha and Abby, I want you to rewrite the numbers down here, okay? So that, give my pen back, dude.
Sorry.
So that, we can see it
The last one.
clearer. So one at a time.
KB. Last one.
Lucinda, make sure you're answering the rest of them, please.
I am.
So, Sam, write 3.9 again down here. Okay, now use that one to move. Okay. So now rewrite your answer. Good. Check your answers, guys, as they are being answered up here.
My answers are awesome. I love answers. It looks so beautiful. Yeah. Woo.
7.
I'm on. What for?
7 right there. There you go.
Where? Which for?
Guys, shush, please.
I'm awesome. Ah.
Okay, so now rewrite your answer. Excellent. Go ahead and. Alright, so the next thing we're going to go over is how to write decimals in different forms.
Oh.
I want you to write these 2 fractions as decimals, and then I want you to write this bottom one in expanded form on your whiteboard. Guys, let's talk about this for a second. This fraction, when you say it like 43 hundredths. 43 hundredths. If I told you, write on your whiteboards right now, 43 hundredths. Raise your hand and tell me, how would you do it? How would you write 43 hundredths on your whiteboard, Lucinda?
Well, first you put 43, and then you put the decimal in front of it.
In front of it.
In front of it, right?
Yeah? I said in front of it.
So this
You put it in back of it.
equals 43 hundredths. This one says, why are you talking? 5 and 3/10. So if I'm saying it like that, 5 and 3/10, Samantha, tell me what you wrote.
5 and 3/10. That's 5 and 3.
5.3. Go ahead and take a minute or so and write 5 and 384 thousandths in expanded form. All right, Cole, go ahead. Write that in expanded form for us.
Everyone make one.
Why don't you write it underneath it so that you don't run out of room.
Doodle bears.
I'm just going to stick parentheses around this. It's easier to read.
You murdered Mr.
Okay. Ladies? Just fine. So do you see how he is taking each number from our original number and multiplying it by the place that it is in? Okay, so 5 was in the ones, so he multiplied it by 1. 3 is in the tenths, so he multiplied it by 1/10. 8 is in the hundredths, so he multiplied it by 100th. And 4 is in the thousandths, so it got multiplied by 1/1000th. Nice job. Next up is comparing. Less than, greater than, or equal to. Let's review the steps. What's the first step when you're comparing decimals? What do you want to do? Very first thing, Samantha.
You put them on top of one another so you could like put the decimals like right next to each other.
Yeah, you want to line up the decimal points, And then working from the left over, you want to compare them. So go ahead and on your whiteboards do these two problems. So I'm seeing a lot of mistakes with number 1 because when you write them, you want to line them up. Oh, we've got a blank spot there. What do we fill it with?
0.
So raise your hand and tell me. Less than, greater than, or equal to, Maura?
Equal to.
Okay, last time I checked, your name was not Maura. Let's do the second one. And we have another blank, so what do I want to put there?
0.
So less than, greater than, or equal to, KV.
0 and 37 is greater than 0 and 368,000.
Perfect.
I got that right.
Okay, you always want to line up the decimal points first and add zeros. All right, let's do a couple more. Rounding. I want you to take this number, 547,000, and I want you to round it to the nearest tenth, the nearest hundredth, and the nearest whole number. And go. All right, so I put the rounding rhyme up there. Find your place, look next door, 5 or higher, add 1 more, 4 or lower, just ignore. If you're rounding to the nearest tenth, the first thing you would do would be find your place. That 5 is in the tenths place.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to look next door at the 4. Is that 4 5 or higher or 4 or lower?
4 lower. I forgot.
So are we going to do anything, or are we going to forget that those numbers exist?
Forget that there was numbers. I turn that to zeros.
So, yeah, you can turn it to zeros.
500.
So you would end up with 5 tenths.
And then
You could add the zeros if you wanted to. If we were then rounding to the nearest hundredths. Okay, here's my original number. What digit is in my hundredths place, Maya?
Oh, your hundredths
Yeah.
place is your 4.
So I'm going to find my place. I'm going to look next door. Is that 7 5 or higher?
Yes.
So what's it going to do to the 4?
Make it a 5.
So I would end up with 55. If I wanted to round it to my nearest whole number, okay, here's my number rewritten. Here's my whole number. I'm going to look next door. 5 or higher, what do I do?
Make it a 1.
Add 1 more.
To a 1.
1.00. Do not forget your rounding rhyme. Look at these last 2 and do them. Who can tell me how to say this decimal? This decimal. Say it for me, Cole.
4 and 63 hundredths.
4 and 3 hundredths.
Yippee.
And then 10 to the third power, you should have written 10 to the third. And what is that value? 10 to the third equals what, Abby? 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.